Hey guys, I came across the post on social media and the point of it basically boiled down to, let's believe people of color rather than jumping to the defense of the system. So, I wanted to talk a bit about this mindset in general. The idea that you should listen to someone based off of identifiers that in the same breath you do not want them to be judged by is hypocritical at best. How about we don't judge the validity of someone's opinion based on race? Now, of course, the corollary to this is that we should not dismiss someone's opinion based on race either, but no one seems to realize this, much like when it comes to pride versus shame based on these attributes. You should take each individual on a case-by-case basis and strive to look objectively at the facts before you, instead of jumping to the conclusions you want to see simply because it fits in line with your worldview. This goes for all sides of the spectrum, as I constantly see people using tragedy to justify their narratives of oppression or their biased ideologies. Some have referred to this attitude as colorblind, but if you truly seek to end the racial identity segregation, then one must take the focus off of the color of a person and take into account the evidence at hand. I know that realistically, either one of those things is going to be difficult to do due to the average person's bias and inability to see beyond it, but society be damned if people are going to just follow this listen and believe mindset because some bad things happen to people. One extreme doesn't necessarily justify the other. Often, situations are not as black and white as they appear to be, and unless you're in a high-tension scenario, it's very difficult to know how one would react. Most people do not wake up thinking, hey, I'm going to take someone's life today. Most people would dread such an event and hope that they're never faced with having to make that split-second choice, but when it comes down to it, self-preservation usually overcomes anything else, and if it's you or them, most choose them. This does not justify all situations in which excessive violence is used, but I think it provides a better explanation as to why these situations escalate to the extremes that they do. I'm going to play a clip where an activist against police brutality undergoes police use of force scenarios to give some insight.
Reverend Jarrett Maupin led protests and marches after Phoenix police shot and killed an unarmed man. Well, tonight he gets a chance to experience the split-second decisions that police have to make when encountering a suspect.
And our Troy Hayden was right along with him tonight getting the training as well. This must have been eye-opening.
It was a really interesting experience. You know, we've all watched those protests all over the country after police officers are accused of shooting people who aren't armed. But what would happen if one of those protesters felt what it was like to wear a badge and then be put in a life or death situation himself?
So I'm going to have you put the holster on right inside your belt loop there.
Jarrett Maupin gets his weapon. You might recognize him as a high-profile organizer in the minority community. Just last month, he led marches on Phoenix Police headquarters after an officer shot an unarmed man.
We want his badge, we want his gun, we want his job.
Today, he accepted an invitation to look at things from the other side, agreeing to go through a force-on-force training session with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. 3 scenarios where you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. Scenario 1 is a call about a man casing cars in a parking lot. Maupin approaches the man and starts asking questions.
What? You're looking for your vehicle. What kind of car do you drive?
Wave your hand and your gun.
What kind of car do you drive?
This is my car, man.
Oh. Maupin, the officer, is shot. It happens that fast.
At what time did you think that it was time for you to address the use of force that was given?
When he came to the back of the vehicle.
Okay.
And was hiding. You know, I could sense something was wrong.
Scenario 2, a call of 2 men fighting.
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What's wrong with you?
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What do you want?
What's happening here?
What's wrong with you?
Back up.
Huh? What are you doing, man? Hey,
he shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You just shot him?
Hey, he rushed me.
Tell me why you shot.
Well, I've shot because he was within that zone. You know, I felt there was an imminent threat. I didn't necessarily see him armed, but he came clearly to do some harm to the officer, to my person. It's hard to make that call. It shakes you up.
Again, an unarmed man was shot. Scenario 3, a call about a possible burglar walking down the street. Maupin gets him on the ground. He's not complying.
I need you to keep your hands up, sir.
For what?
Because I need to check that waistband.
Well, why? What are you doing?
Because I don't know what you have under there.
Everybody, look at this guy. What are you doing?
No shots fired, but the suspect did have a hidden knife in his waistband. I went through the scenarios too, without seeing what Maupin did.
Well, do you have keys, or do you have everything you show me that?
Don't worry about
No, I need to talk to you. Come on out over here. Well, I'm dead. Maricopa County Sheriffs, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Both of you, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
For what?
Get back. Get back.
Same results for both of us. Things happen very fast out here. I asked Maupin what his biggest takeaway from this exercise will be.
I didn't understand how important compliance was, but after going through this, yeah, my attitude has changed. This is all unfolding in 10 to 15 seconds. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own sake.
So as you can see, this was an eye-opening experience, and this person's perspective changed through said experience, realizing that things are not always so easy to pass judgment on. This does not excuse situations where truly innocent people are murdered just for something like trying to reach for their ID, but I think in situations like that, there are definite biases at play that cause people to jump to an irrational extreme, but as for what the ultimate solution is, it's hard to say. Perhaps they need to raise the standards of mental health screening to qualify for law enforcement, but even then, you'll always be bound to end up with a few bad eggs. However, it's also important for citizens to comply with police as best as they can and try to settle any potential wrongdoing at a later time through the law. Unfortunately, there is no perfect answer, but rather than jumping on bandwagons, spewing hatred, taking bait shoved down your throat by the media, and acting as though you have to choose one side or the other, it's important to realize that nothing can change unless everyone works together rather than seeing the entirety of one group as an enemy. The system, as it's so often referred to, is screwed up in a lot of ways, and it no doubt has room for improvements. You know, there are absolutely times when those who are supposed to be on the side of justice take the power given to them too far and use it for their own satisfaction, or they are simply mentally unfit to deal with the responsibility that goes along with upholding the rules. This does not automatically mean that all of those working within the system are terrible people, much in the same way that just because someone of a certain race commits a crime, everyone who shares a skin color with them is a bad person. First and foremost, people are individuals with their own lives and experiences that play into the way in which they learn and develop. Hold individuals responsible and not everyone they share a group with. This goes for everyone. Thanks for watching.
I'm the only one who can save myself.